You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming, and some of you on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with another Let's Play episode of Repeat, Sissel's Path. Y'all give me 1 second to plug my little earbuds in. Went on a little trip today with my parents, should be cool. There we go, all good. Alright, let's jump back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Ah yes, more airplane madness. Sissel was breathing in and out of his nose harshly as the vertigo slowly subsided from his skull. Aw. So cute. Is everything good now? Looks like it. That wasn't too bad, was it? Sissel blinked and rubbed his temple with a frown. My ears feel funky, but it could be worse. God, we gotta deal with another 4 hours of this? He grumbled and clutched his head. I'm definitely not looking forward to the return trip. Dude, I love flying. I moved the armrest between us out of the way and snuggled up against Sissel's shoulder. This is a good chance to take a nap and rest up before the tournament tomorrow. The flight will be over before you know it. Sissel seemed to welcome the contact, but shuffled in his seat with a grimace. I don't know how people are supposed to fall asleep on planes. Everything feels designed to make you uncomfortable. Hey, Owen, you've flown before, right? How do you usually pass the time? Ah! Oh, well, I guess that answers your question. He's as helpful as ever. Sissel glanced out the window at the city disappearing into the distance. Yeah, how do you three have room? Your God, your fucking muscles. Jesus. I guess I'm just a little too worked up to fall asleep right now. Are you nervous about the flight, or about the tournament tomorrow? He smiled softly and nuzzled the top of my head. Don't you go fretting over me again. I'm sure I'm a little nervous, but it's not the existentially falling apart kind of nervous. Just a regular old, oh God, I'm going to be judged on live TV kind of nervous, you know? Not a big fan of being stuck with these thoughts while trapped on a plane for 4 hours. I think I know a way to help her. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. I know what that means. Save that one right there. Not safe for work stuff. I chat quiet with Sissel to pass the time. Okay. I smiled and gently gripped Sissel's hand as we leaned against each other in our seats. You want to just complain about stuff to pass the time? Sissel arched an eyebrow. I love complaining just as much as the next guy, but I don't think I've got 4 hours of it in me. You'd be surprised. Come on, penny for your thoughts? Sissel pursed his lips thoughtfully. I guess there's the whole vibe of the culinary competition tomorrow. I hear the folks there are even more backstabby than the ones in the local contests. You'd figure the national scene would have better security, but I've heard horror stories of folks getting their salt and sugar mixed up and even their oven sabotaged. Yikes. Never thought baking would be such a cutthroat sport. No worries, though. The gang and I will be guarding all your stuff like we did at the Regions. I think Jenny and Philip did a pretty good job of scaring off troublemakers last time. Yeah, I don't think they're letting folks get anywhere near the equipment and ingredients these days. Second meal, coffee time. Still, doesn't stop contestants from trying to do some light sabotaging. Sissel began to ramble about the long history of rules and regulations in the culinary competition and how practically every rule was the result of someone trying some shit. I listened and laughed as he continued to rant about the ridiculousness of it all. The hours sailed past surprisingly quickly as I drifted off to the sound of his voice. The plane soon landed and we managed to get to our hotel without incident. Well, besides being hit by travel fatigue like a bus, everyone looked mildly sore and grateful to be free from those cramped seats. We soon settled down in our respective hotel rooms, with Owen, Sissel, and I hunkering down in one room while everyone else stayed in another across the hall. Nice hotel. After tossing all our luggage haphazardly in a corner, we gathered in the hotel lobby to make plans for the night. At this point, it was a little past midnight. Honestly, we should probably go get some real sleep. It's probably not the best idea to show up at the competition half awake tomorrow. The keyword here is should. It's a vacation. Do what you want and have some fun for once. Jenny laughed as she flopped down on a couch in the lobby, an iced coffee already in hand. I squinted at her drink with a grimace. Dude, it's like 12:30 a.m. right now. Never stopped me before. I'm gonna be up all night having a good time. Plus, the tournament isn't till tomorrow night anyhow. She took a sip of her coffee and jerked her head towards one of the dimly lit storefront inside the hotel. There's a pretty rad arcade here. Philip and I were thinking of having a little battle to the death. You know, for old time's sake. Someone ought to humble him from time to time. Philip puffed up indignantly. You, you cheated in all of our little... Phil's voice, okay. You cheated in all of our little face-offs. I would have won otherwise. Ginny looked positively smug. It sounds like you're being a sore loser again. The two of them glared at each other for a solid minute before silently marching off towards the arcade. Well, those two will be at it for a while. I should probably go make sure they don't break anything. You guys should come too if you feel like dancing. Owen waved goodbye with a grin before rushing after them into the arcade. Sissel and I glanced at Herschel, who had his face buried in his phone. What about you, boss? Got any plans? Herschel's face immediately flashed red like a Christmas ornament as he stuffed his phone back into his pocket. Well, you know, you did mention that I should be going out more, and you helped me download all these funky apps on my phone last week. I figured I should give it a shot now that we're traveling. You know, low stakes and experiment all that. There's a bar nearby, and I figured this would be a good time to make some friends. Herschel suddenly spluttered. Why am I even explaining any of this to you kids? Go off and shoot. I'll see y'all later tonight. With that, Herschel stomped off in the direction of the hotel bar with his tail tucked between his legs. Sissel sighed proudly as he watched him leave. Coffee's down. Alrighty. He's growing up so fast. Feels like just yesterday he was egging you to ask me out. God, that feels so like forever ago. Time really flies. Sissel let out a yawn and flopped his head on my shoulder. Well, Adrian? I think I still have some energy to run around for a bit. Is there any place you want to go? Looks like we still got time before going to bed. Where should we go? To the bang room. Oh, okay, we get a choice here. Interesting. Okay. The two of us wandered into the arcade in search of our friends. That's a cool arcade, actually. Flashing lights and loud blaring music bombarded our senses as we scanned the area for the signs of a very angry cat. Eventually, we spotted Ginny and Philip stomping up an absolute storm at a competitive DDR panel while Owen watched them from the sidelines with a grin. Wow, you guys seem busy. Hush, this is a life or a death battle. My honor's on the line here. Philip and Ginny were nearly pitch perfect with the beat of the song, their feet dancing in rapid stomps as they hit every note with complete accuracy. I could practically see the sweat dripping off Philip's brow as he squinted at the DDR screen with sheer concentration. Ginny, on the other hand, was grinning like an idiot as she watched how riled up Philip was becoming. So, she spoke casually without breaking a sweat from her stomps on the dance pad. I hear you and Owen worked out your weird unspoken thing. Philip swore loudly and nearly missed a note. It's not an unspoken thing anymore, especially with two nosy eavesdroppers growing in the local shrubs. Sissel's ears perked up curiously. Did I miss something? Oh, you're not going to believe this, but Philip voluntarily talked about his feelings today. Ow! The arcade speakers blared a shrill mist as Philip broke his perfect score to kick me in the shins. Oh, lay off! Don't tease the poor guy for making progress. Why do you all act like I'm the unreasonable one here? You gotta admit, you are as emotionally available as a cactus. And that means... Very prickly. Will stab if approached. It seemed Philip could not find it in himself to argue. Well, are you two officially dating now or what? Nah, we're just friends. Just friends? No, just. We're solid, good friends. Maybe more someday, but nothing less. Ginny was holding back a laugh and quietly whispered, they're roommates. Philip missed another note in an attempt to stomp on her toes. Sissel nodded with a grin. You're not even dating him and you've managed to domesticate Owen. I'm impressed. Philip scoffed. It's not like I own him. I just enjoy his company. He's probably still gonna fuck around with folks like he always does. Owen glanced up quietly. Does that bother you? Philip managed to flash him a wry smile between his storm of dance steps. I thought I made it clear that I don't give a rat's ass who you sleep with, Owen. I just appreciate having a solid friend, you know. Plus, I wouldn't want you to change for me. Doesn't hurt to check, does it? Jenny nodded sagely. Good roommates should always maintain proper communication with each other. There you go, water time. Philip, by my count, you were currently losing. Philip swore loudly as he missed another note. The DDR screen flashed as the song reached its end, declaring Jenny the winner. And that's a wrap. Better luck next time, my guy. You have got to be joking. Philip's face remained deadpan, but his whiskers bristled with great malevolence. Owen laughed and leaned in to pat Philip on the head. To everyone's shock, Philip's whiskers calmed and Owen's hand remained surprisingly unmangled. I'm glad to see you guys getting along. And you didn't even have to burn down an expensive restaurant to confess your feelings in a healthy way. Not yet. I'm definitely feeling an urge to burn something down. Jenny patted him on the back with a wry smile. She turned towards Sissel and I, ushering us onto the dance pad. Well, I'm beat, but I've still got a fair few arcade tokens. Why don't the four of you face off in a little couples DDR session? You two versus Philip and Owen. It'll help vent out Philip's extremely unreasonable anger issues toward our last game. Philip inhaled sharply, and it seemed to take every ounce of his willpower to resist knocking Jenny's boba tea out of her hand. Where'd she get a boba tea? She just had fucking coffee. Me? Dancing? Absolutely not. This will just turn into a glorified footstepping contest. I'll probably fall on my ass while I'm at it. It's not very punk rock to refuse a dance challenge. Sissel's ears shot up indignantly. Fine, let's get this over with. I grinned and hooked an arm under Sissel's as I led him over to the dance pad. Aw, don't worry so much, sis. I'll be sure to hold your hips to make sure you don't fall. Sissel flushed pink. I think I'd prefer to stand behind you instead. Heh, whatever works for you. On the other dance pad, Owen was getting in position behind Philip with a fond smile. I'm starting to think Jenny was right about you. About what? That you're a competitive tryhard and a sore loser. Philip let out a huff and shoved a handful of arcade tokens into the DDR machine. Better not lose, then. We all watched as the bright screen flashed a countdown to some cheesy pop love song starting in 3, 2, 1. It was atrocious. Everyone stumbled about like their feet were on fire as the machine flashbanged us with rapid-fire mist markers. To our great shock, it turned out that putting 2 people on a dance pad designed for only one was a bad idea. On the sidelines, Jenny was leaning on the railing and barking advice while hiding her laughter between sips of boba tea. Behind me, Sissel was cursing loudly behind me as he struggled to hit the flashing arrows without stepping on my heels. I, of course, put in my best effort by ignoring the song completely and focused on grinding my ass against Sissel at every given chance. Alright, y'all, I think I'm going to pause that right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, that's a good place to pick it back up. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank y'all for all I do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silver, and thank you going above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. And thanks to our 3 gold tier patrons, Zeke, Toby, and Blue Alpha Wolf. Y'all are awesome. Thank you so much. Don't forget if y'all want to get your names in the credits, get access to all of our not safe for work contents as little as $5. Alrighty, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye bye.